Welcome to Nerstrand School's 22nd Annual Community Celebration at the Little School in the Big Woods. My name is Maggie Kiley, and I am the director here at Nerstrand School. Thank you for coming this evening to celebrate with friends and community members and pay tribute to our honoree, Betty Redfield.
So super quickly, that was just Jester Dance, and our next piece that we're going to play for you is called Dance of the Jabberwocky. Fifth grade band has been working very hard this year. We're really excited to present these two songs for you. So this is our last song that we're going to play as the band. This is Dance of the Jabberwocky. Thank you. At this time, everyone, I would like to introduce your hosts for this evening, fifth graders Clara Burnt, Kaylee Bertram, Cooper Siegert, and Andrew Vogelmuth. Please join me in welcoming tonight's MCs.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
Hi, I'm Cooper.
Hi, I'm Claire.
Hi, I'm Kaylee, and we are your hosts for the evening. Welcome to Nerstrand Elementary's Community Celebration.
In 1998, this great tradition was founded by Larry Long, singer, composer, and troubadour during his residency here at Nerstrand.
Larry, with the help of children, wrote songs that are well known throughout this community and school.
Tonight we are honoring Betty Redfield, who has been a community member in Nerstrand for many years.
We now welcome the Prairie, Savannah, and Woodland students to sing a melody of the first 4 elder songs that started this great tradition.
Love you.
job singing.
When I think about it, Andrew, we have honored some pretty cool members of this community. Lucky for us, we have another tonight.
That's right. But before we recognize the honored elder for tonight, we would like to recognize elders from previous years. If you are one of these elders, would you please stand as you are able?
Here's the melodies of the elder songs from 2003 and 2004.
Nice job, friends. You know what? I was just thinking about how fast time has gone since we started school at Nerstrand.
I also think about how much we have learned about the history of Nerstrand and how life was different when these elders were our age.
Each year we learn something new and valuable from these interviews that we can bring into our everyday life.
Let's listen to the songs about the elders we were able to honor throughout our time at Nerstrand. Here are the songs from 2013 through 2018.
Nice job, friends. As Kaylee and Kara were saying, we learned a lot about life in Betty Redfield as a kid.
It sure was different. I was just thinking about her experience in elementary school. Can you imagine sitting in your seat all day, except for recess?
Makes me thankful we have Fayette every day, and we are able to get up and move in our classrooms.
I found it interesting that she was so involved in Nerstrand's Bologna days. I heard that she and her husband would set up the road rally.
Road rally? What was that? Sounds like fun.
The road rally was a race of sorts that had a list of checkpoints. Teams would get into cars and go to each checkpoint. The team to make it to all the checkpoints in the least amount of time won.
Whoa, that does sound fun. I keep thinking about how fun a cruise sounds. After hearing Betty's stories about going to the Bahamas, I am ready to go. I even brought a Hawaiian shirt.
Hey, that looks familiar. Did you get that from my closet?
No comment.
Now, gentlemen, let's calm down and not get carried away. We have a show to put on here. My personal favorite was that her favorite musical artists are Elvis Presley and Neil Diamond.
Let's hear more about Betty in these sections of our interview. But first, Sakata and Kennedy have some flowers for Betty.
My name is Betty Jean Redfield. I was born October 22nd, 1944. I grew up in Kenyon and went to school there. I had one sister, her name is Marcella, and she was a little over a year younger than me. My mother dressed us up as the same dress, and everybody thought we were twins. People still get us confused. My sister always went with my mother, and I with my dad. I was kind of my dad's sidekick. He worked at the meat market in Kenyon, and sometimes I got to go with him. My dad died when I was in 7th grade. It was very, very difficult for me. That was the only 3 days I missed of school, 7th through 12th grade. My mother remarried a couple years after that. He was very good to my sister and I. He and my mother had my sister Linda and then my brother Steve.
I am Norwegian, 100%. My mother took many classes to learn a type of intricate painting called rose mailing, and was very good at it. We would go to a Norwegian festival in Decorah, Iowa every year. They would have displays of rose mailing. My grandma came from Norway when she was 15 years old in 1906. She would come to Ellis Island. I think that's why we are so connected to our Norwegian heritage. We have a little library in my yard, and my sister painted a little gnome to sit by reading the book. I kind of collect little gnomes, and of course I love rose mailing.
On weekends as a kid, we often went with cousins and their families to the farm because there are a lot of things that you could do there. I would follow my aunt when she went to feed the chickens and gather eggs, so it didn't take much to entertain us. We didn't have TV until I was in 7th grade. You use your imagination, and I had quite the imagination. We played with cousins, and we would play softball, kickball, hopscotch. We'd go out to the barn, go up in the haymow, see the pigs, the cows, and have a real good food.
We didn't have a television, we didn't have a phone, and we didn't have a lot. But we always had a meal on our table, and we always ate our meals together. If somebody stopped by, we had food for them too. Maybe not a lot of food, but Mother was a great gardener, and surprisingly, we always had enough. I don't remember ever going to a restaurant when I was in grade school. I know my parents went out for their 10th anniversary, but that's the only time I remember they went out to eat, so we just stayed at home. That was one thing when you were out playing, you knew when mealtime was. Either that or Mother would let out a yell, and we'd hear our names, and we would be heading home.
was coming home from a classmate's party and I stopped at a restaurant downtown. I'm sure I was with my cousin because we kind of went to everything together. Dave and a couple of his friends came to the restaurant and I met him that night. I didn't even know we went to the same school. I was 15 when I met him, so we've known him a long time. We were high school sweethearts. He was going off to business college in Mankato. Every Friday I came out of school and he was there. The day I graduated, he gave me an engagement ring. We were married a year later and started a family a couple years after that. It wasn't long before we were in Nerstrand.
We wanted to be part of the Nerstrand community, so Dave was in the commercial club and part of the city council. I remember going to some 4-H events that we were invited to as being part of the bank. Then we became part of the Booster Club in Nerstrand. At one time, there were wedding dances in our community building that we used to have. Nerstrand was a little more of a bustling little town at the time. There was a bank, a grocery store, a post office, a meat market, a hardware store, and of course, Isaacson's. There was a woodworking shop, at least one restaurant. They used to have a fish fry and all kinds of people would come into town. There were band concerts on Saturday nights and the band show.
I always wanted to be a school teacher, but when I was a senior, I was given the opportunity to be a dental assistant. It was on-the-job training. Someone was going to leave the office, so they were going to need another assistant. I would go after school and Saturday mornings. I had to learn how to put any instrument into the doctor's hands that he needed. I worked there until I had my first child, and I was asked to come back when my children were maybe 5 or 6 years old. I became the roving assistant and had to be able to do all the jobs of the office. After 22 years in the dental office, I had been doing some decorating for different people, and then pretty soon I got into it.
I was helping people decorate their homes with pictures, mirrors, and shelves. I worked for home interiors. So we would have a party, the hostess would invite her friends. People would come and they would order the items that they wanted. It was fun because I was really kind of teaching people how to decorate their homes, so I was still teaching. I just never did the school teaching thing. The freight used to be delivered in my house. I had to pack it up and deliver it to everybody. The man that delivered all these things would unload many boxes. He said, "How do you sell all this in this little town?" But I didn't just sell it in this little town. I pretty much sold it all around southeastern Minnesota.
Through that job, I won many trips, and that was all based on how much you sold for the year. I went to San Francisco one trip, Texas one trip, and had a lot of seminars in Texas and Nashville, so I did a lot of flying. And then I went on a lot of cruises. The last cruise I was on was with my husband Dave, and we went to Alaska. We went to Washington State first, and then our cruise line went up to Alaska. It was beautiful. I probably went on at least 10 cruises. The others were all in the Bahamas. Nice place to go.
two children. My daughter's name is Teresa and my son's name is Brian. Teresa works at Carlton and my son works at Post. He is a Northfield firefighter and his son Hunter is also a Northfield firefighter. He just started last year. Brian and Teresa went to Nerstrand School. I think at that time it was K through 6th grade, but then they had a long bus drive to Faribault when they hit 7th grade. I also had two grandchildren who came to Nerstrand.
The students wrote the lyrics and created the melodies in our next song. Now, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax as the Linens perform their song for our honored elder, Betty.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Wow, we got a lot of people in here. Nice work. Nice job. First of all, I'd like to start off just by talking a little bit about the songwriting process that we did this year. It's very similar to the previous 3 years that I've done the community celebration. We gave the kids a transcript of our interview and asked them to pick out things that they thought, words that they liked, language that they liked, and had them come up with a chorus for us. So we had a lot of choruses. We voted it all down to the one that you heard today. And then we went on to writing verses. So the melody was completely crafted by students. The words were completely crafted by students. We had every class, or both classes, had a say in how we crafted the song. We gave ideas, we voted on ideas, and we changed things that we saw fit. So this song is truly crafted by our Woodland students. So give them a round of applause one more time. And I'd like to start by thanking Betty for sharing her story with us. Thank you so much for coming in and being our honored elder and showing us what it was like in Nerstrand before they were even a thought. And, yeah, give Betty a round of applause. So tonight's also really cool. This is kind of an opportunity that I don't know, it doesn't happen all the time. So I think this is pretty cool for the students, and it's pretty cool for myself. But the composer of our song that our Savannah sang today, Blocks, Michael Majorana, is here. Michael, would you stand up so we can give you a round of applause? This is Michael. He wrote Blocks. Thank you so much, Michael, for sharing your talents with us through music. And I'd like to thank my mom, Gloria Keesley, for accompanying us on piano for that. Mom, would you stand up? Sorry I didn't get you a stool to stand on. My bad. And I'd like to thank the PTO for all their support. Now we're going to hear from our Honor Elder, Betty.
Well, I just want to say thank you. This has been quite the experience. I didn't know my age was going to become so important that it ended up as the chorus of the song. But I know it was that day. They were like, I can't believe she told us how old she is. So, but no, this has been just a really fun experience, and appreciate it so much. We've got a wonderful little school in the woods. Thank you.
Okay, so for our last song, we are going to sing I'm a Believer, which was written by Neil Diamond and performed by the Monkees. So if you know the words, feel free to just jump on in, sing with us, okay? And
Let's
I would like to give a special thank you to our music teacher, Matthew Keesley, and all of our students for your extraordinary work. I also want to thank Matthew's mother, Gloria Keesley, for her accompaniment on the piano for this concert. Gloria's been coming to school and rehearsing with our students for a few weeks. We are so appreciative for her time and effort that was put into this program. Thank you, Gloria. I commend our students and staff for continuing this important work that builds strong and special connections between our school and the Nerstrand community. It requires a large amount of work to carry out such an endeavor. Of course, tonight's event isn't all songs. It's setup, decorations, and cleanup too. Thank you to all of the staff members for their work in preparing for this evening. Thank you, parents and family and community members, for coming tonight to help us celebrate community. A special thanks goes to our talented and dedicated music teacher, Matthew Keesley. Flowers were presented to Matthew by Mason DeMars. Let's give our students one last round of applause, and thank you all for being here with us this evening.